As political candidates prepare to address abortion in upcoming debates, one pro-life organization is making sure Americans have all the facts they need. Focus on the Family is hosting a virtual conference exposing the lies and pain of the abortion industry and celebrating the unborn. It's called See Life 2020. During the event, prominent pro-life speakers and musicians will share stories and music written and recorded specifically for the event. It's taking place online this Saturday, the 26th at 8 p.m. Joining us now is Focus on the Family President and CEO Jim Daly with more on the battle for life in America and this event. Jim, great to have you back on the broadcast. As you know, abortion is a big topic due to the upcoming election, and now with an empty Supreme Court seat following Ruth Bader Ginsburg's passing, how significant would a pro-life pick and confirmation be right now?
Well, very significant, obviously, and the pro-life movement is certainly pushing the ball in that direction. We're hoping that President Trump appoints somebody who respects life from conception to grave. That would be our hope, and we'll see what happens. But, you know, it's no coincidence, I don't think, as a person of faith, that Saturday has come down to both the presidential pick as well as our event at 8 p.m. I think it's kind of interesting that both are happening on the same day.
Yeah, and speaking of this event, as I mentioned, it's called See Life 2020. You'll have a variety of speakers discussing a variety of topics on Saturday at the event. What will some of the conversation be like between pro-life leaders, Jim?
Well, we're building off of what we did in Times Square last year, where we had Benjamin Watson, Alveda King, who will both be with us again, along with Candace Owens and others. Especially from the African-American community. Last year, as we spoke in Times Square, one of them mentioned that more black babies were killed in New York City by abortion than were born. And unfortunately, that's true nationally. Abortion is the #1 cause of death in the black community. All other things combined don't rise to the number of abortions in the black community. So we're really raising this issue up, not just to the black community, but to everybody, that abortion takes viable human life, and we've got to end it in this nation.
Do you see the trend, the tide sort of changing in terms of people's attitude toward abortions compared to, 30, 40 years ago?
Absolutely. When you go to the March for Life in January on the anniversary of Roe v. Wade, you'll see 300,000 people there. Probably 70, 80% of them are 20-somethings. And I think the most pro-life generation right now is the 20-something. So I'm very optimistic that either survivor mentality, whatever may be driving those 20-somethings to say, wait a minute, abortion seems like an immoral thing to do to our children. I'm grateful to God that he's given that awareness to this next generation. So I'm very optimistic. I think most of us now are saying abortion is not the way to go. There are many, many other options that we have available for women, and we care about the woman too. It's not just the baby, but there are some great programs that allow women to thrive who have an unwanted pregnancy.
Yeah, and especially in today's day, you're seeing a lot of folks who used to work at Planned Parenthood coming out and giving sort of an expose of what life was like really inside and the kinds of operations taking place and how women were, in some cases, their lives put in jeopardy. Talk about that real quickly.
Well, that comes straight from Abby Johnson, and she was one of our speakers in New York. She will be a speaker this Saturday as well for us, and she talks about that as a former director of Planned Parenthood, that when she was not hitting the targets, that they would give them higher quotas of abortion so they can hit their dollar figures that they needed at the clinic. And I just hope that America wakes up to what that is really saying. We're low on cash. We need to take the lives of more babies. I mean, why are we standing for this? It's repugnant.
Jim, the event this Saturday, as I mentioned, it's called See Life 2020. How can folks tune in to hear?
Yeah, they can go to the Focus on the Family Facebook page. There'll be other digital assets people can view it through, but start at the Focus on the Family Facebook page or focusonthefamily.com.
Okay, terrific. Jim, you lead a terrific organization for many, many years, fighting for life, fighting for the family in the institution of family. Always a pleasure to have you back on the broadcast. Jim Daly with Focus on